Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're talking about something that's kind of impossible in Hollywood right now. A movie that pretty much everyone seems to absolutely love. I'm talking about the sci-fi epic Project Hail Mary. Seriously, in an age where everyone argues about everything online, this film comes along and just unites people. So the big question is, how on earth did they pull it off? All right, so here's the game plan. We're going to look at the mind-blowing scores it got, then dive into the Gosling factor, the dream team behind the camera, the crazy way they built the sets, the friendship at the heart of it all, and finally, what makes it the perfect modern crowd pleaser. Let's do this. Okay, first things first. Let's just talk about the numbers, because you really have to see the data to believe how well received this movie was. It's just wild. Yeah, check that out. 96%. And that's the verified audience score on Rotten Tomatoes from over 5,000 people. When a huge blockbuster hits a number like that, you know you're looking at something special. And here's the real kicker. It's not just the audience. Look at this breakdown. Verified audience, 96%. All critics, 95%. Top critics, 96%. They're all basically saying the exact same thing. I mean, when was the last time you saw critics and audiences agree so completely on a big movie? It almost never happens. And you know, this Reddit user kind of sums it all up, right? Probably the highest score we've ever seen. That's what gets us to the core question we're trying to answer today. What is it about this movie that makes pretty much everybody fall in love with it? Okay, so where do we even start to unpack this? Well, you got to start with the guy at the center of it all, the gravitational pull of this whole thing. Mr. Ryan Gosling. I mean, listen to what the Rolling Stones said. He can handle it all. And that's what you hear from pretty much everyone. They're calling his performance a tour de force. You have to remember, for a huge chunk of this movie, it's just him. On screen, alone. So his performance isn't just a nice to have, it's everything. So what makes his performance so great? It's this incredible balancing act he pulls off. 1 minute, he's a charismatic one-man show doing hilarious physical comedy in zero-G. The next, he's carrying the emotional weight of, the entire planet on his shoulders. He somehow grounds this massive sci-fi spectacle and makes it feel completely, totally human. He's the anchor, for sure. But look, an actor, even one as good as Gosling, can't do it alone. You need a killer team behind the scenes. And boy, did this movie have one. Let's talk about the dream team that put this whole mission together. Okay, just look at this lineup. Andy Weir, the guy who wrote The Martian, Drew Goddard, who adapted The Martian for the screen, and then you bring in Phil Lord and Chris Miller, the geniuses behind Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and the Lego Movie. Come on, this wasn't some happy accident. This team was basically built in a lab to create a smart, funny, and heartfelt blockbuster. And people online totally picked up on this. This Reddit comment says it all. That's an excellent team to make a movie. You could feel the excitement building before it even came out. People knew this particular group of creators was a recipe for something truly special. All right, now let's get into something that, for me, is one of the coolest parts of how they made this film. It's about how they built the world and their very bold decision to do things the old-fashioned way. So think about it. How do you film a giant space movie these days? Your first thought is probably green screen, right? Just tons and tons of CGI. Well, these filmmakers decided to go in a completely, radically different direction. Just listen to what director Christopher Miller said. Not a single green or blue screen was used. The whole ship was built as a set. Let that sink in. They built the spaceship. So when you see Ryan Gosling on screen, he's not pretending in front of a giant green curtain. He's in a real, physical place. He can touch the buttons, feel the walls. He's actually in the ship. That's a game changer. And you can absolutely feel the difference when you watch it. On one hand, you have CGI-heavy movies where actors are kind of floating in a digital void. But with practical sets like this, you get a world that feels real, tangible. It gives the actors something to actually act with. You get a grounded performance because the environment itself is real. It makes the claustrophobia feel real, and the wonder feel real too. So, we've got an amazing star, a dream team, incredible practical effects, but all of that is really just the setting. What everyone agrees on, what truly makes this movie so special, is its heart. And that heart is a friendship that you would never, ever expect. As Liz Shannon Miller from Consequence puts it, the fact that we come to care so deeply about this alien, Rocky, as much as we do our human hero Grace, That's the essential glue of the movie. It's what takes it from being just another guy stuck in space story to something so much more profound. Yeah, people describe it as the film's emotional core. It's this buddy dynamic that's just so charming and funny, but also incredibly touching. At some point, you realize the movie isn't really about a mission to save humanity anymore. It becomes a story about two friends from different worlds trying to save each other. And that's the hook. That's what gets you right in the feels. And really, what more do you need to say? Jazz hands. If you've seen the movie, you know exactly what this means. It perfectly captures the pure joy and charm of this friendship. It is the big, beating heart of the whole thing. So, okay, you take an incredible lead performance, a genius creative team, mind-blowing practical sets, and this powerful emotional friendship at its core. You mix it all together, what's the result? You get this. A comment from someone who just had a great cinema experience. And that's what you hear everywhere. This movie is a true crowd pleaser, the kind of film where you walk out of the theater and just feel good. It's an experience that reminds you why going to the movies can be so amazing. So, if you were going to break it down, the formula for this masterpiece looks something like this. You start with a smart story that people already love. You anchor it with an absolute tour de force performance. You build a world that feels real. But most importantly, you focus on a powerful, heartfelt, emotional core. It's a movie about hope and optimism, and it proves that audiences are absolutely starving for big, smart, original movies that aren't just another sequel. So it leaves us with a really interesting question, doesn't it? After so many years of superhero movies and endless sequels, is this the new formula for a blockbuster? A truly original, heartfelt sci-fi story? The success of this movie seems to suggest that maybe the best thing you can have in Hollywood isn't a pre-existing franchise, but just a really, really good story with a ton of heart. What do you guys think?